Okay, so automatically, it's hard to always talk about things that make sense. When I'm not holding back on something, I'm gonna sound like a real dick. Let's get into this. It seems like when it comes to Marvel, things can get very outrageous. I'm gonna be serious. Look, when it comes down to the X-Men, there are things that you don't have to change, and there's things that you don't have to fuck with. And I really mean Marvel, don't fuck with this. Look, it comes to a lot of people that understand that the world signifies what Marvel goes through. Back at one point, Marvel talked about different things when it came to black people. They had to take black people, they couldn't write about us, and they create the mutants. Everything happening with civil rights, the problems with black people, people hating on black people. Stan Lee, everybody else, they wrote about this, but created mutants. They were the quintessential points of what being minority was. You want a minority? The fucking X-Men were minority. Mutants were minorities. Mutants were the fucking pointing block of black people and minorities and hate that got on us. These are the two archetypes that represented black people, just like they represented mutants. Martin Luther King represented the knowledge, the information, and a better way to fight back and join in equality with white people. Malcolm X thought of radicalism, power to fight them before they get us, really go for the jugular. That was the quintessential two people for black people. The man of the ideas and the respect and understanding, the man of power, destruction, and get back at them before they try to get back at us. These two quintessential points represented two very different sides of the black community back then, automatically. We have Charles Xavier, who is the Martin Luther King for the X-Men, who is the guiding voice, who believes that mutants can walk side by side with people, the same as Martin Luther King with black people. Now we have Eric Lenshaw, aka Magneto, the man who believes that mutants are better than Homo sapiens, that are the fucking superior fucking race compared to humans, and we should get them before they get us. And Magneto has thought about that forever. Plus, what makes Magneto a strong character is not just that he's a mutant, he's also a Jewish man. Magneto is a Jewish man who's lived through the Holocaust, where his people were eradicated. I've learned about the Holocaust in school. Today, certain people still believe it exists, which is very terrifying. So Magneto has seen the human race at its full extension, has seen what the human race can do. And does he want to see that happen to freaking mutants? No. He does not want to live through another genocide and can't do nothing about it. Charles hasn't lived through that genocide, but he has seen it in Magneto's mind when they were friends at one point. It's a terrible feeling, and you can never change what other people view mutants. I don't want Marvel to take the two iconic mutants that represent not just black people, but represent their own race and their own equalities as black. Because if you do this and you switch up these characters, you have to change not just yet their story, but you have to iconically mix everything up. If you take Eric Lenshaw, and I've said this to my friend, and he kind of thought about it and said, that's a good idea. Take Eric Lenshaw, right? He's raised in like the hoodest, ghettoest parts of, let's say, New York City. Back in the days where the crack epidemic was big, men were selling crack, women were using crack. His father was a woman beater, right? His father one night gets mad at the wrong person, gets gunned down. His mom has an overdose. Eric gets put in through the system in a foster home. A Jewish family who can't have kids, we'll call them the Magnus Lyncher family, because his name is, first is Eric, you can't say Lyncher. Then he gets his second name from the Magnus family, which first name is Lyncher, which is a Jewish name. So they adopt Eric in the system, get him in there, and then give him their last name. So it's Eric Lenshaw. So at the one point, Eric didn't really have a last name. He would usually go by Magnus as he was growing up, or just Eric in general. But then he now has Eric Lenshaw Magnus, or Magnus Eric Lenshaw, whatever you want to call him in the beginning. He gets adopted by a Jewish family, moves out of his neighborhood, moves somewhere a little more better, suburban. He goes to school, doesn't take no shit from nobody, but he's well educated moving forward. One night, his family gets attacked by fucking white supremacists. I would not white supremacist, basically white supremacy, like people that don't like Jewish people. What do they call skinheads? His family gets attacked by skinheads. They get lynched and killed in front of him. Eric's power activates as he's been with his family for freaking 4 months, as he's grown up with his surrogate father and surrogate mother, and he just watched them be killed by these skinheads, and he just mutant powers finally activate. Look, my friend liked that idea because now Eric has the sides of two worlds. He came from the hood and the ghetto and saw the destruction. The crack epidemic killed his mother, saw that the violence epidemic killed his father, and then when his new adopted family saw what humans were capable of doing just because of a different race, just because they were Jewish, just because they had a different religion and culture, murdered them. That would be an amazing way to start off Magneto, as a black kid who's seen what humanity is capable of doing at levels of extent. Charles Xavier, well-educated black man that moves forward, uses his powers and his gains. I've already seen that, all right? And that's X-Men First Class. I don't really care about Charles's like history of learning. But when you're trying to change Magneto, and I was just on Facebook about a minute ago. No offense to anybody on Facebook, and this is just me. And I said the same thing. Denzel Washington, I don't know if this is proven, that Denzel Washington wants to play Magneto. I don't want that. I don't want Denzel Washington to play Magneto. I don't want Denzel Washington in MCU. People don't already like Lady Thor. I want to see what happens to Fat Thor. Look, Marvel, whatever you're doing right now, take a minute to understand. Slow down. I'm not saying you're going to ruin the X-Men. I'm a black man speaking from personal experience as a black man. I don't care what the nerd black community cares about. I don't care for them. Some of them was reading these comics and was just like, okay, cool. But some black people weren't even on board with Miles Morales when he came into the scene. Let's be honest. And if you were lying to yourself that Miles Morales looked good as a black kid. He was ugly. Back to the beginning. When it comes down to it, you can't take a story like Magneto, Charles Xavier, and just switch up their color and give them the same story. It's not just what made Magneto Jewish. It's his experience. It's what he's done in his life. It's who he's met, how he's met people, and what he's basically experienced all his life. Pain and tragedy. You can't just change their skin color and give them the same amount of pain and tragedy. That means Magneto would have to live through the motherfucking slavery years. What's worse than slavery? Wasn't the civil rights movements? Anything else worse? I don't mean like tragedy that you have to relate to. Like, people have to relate to that. When you look at Magneto, like, he's a product of not just the environment, but the Holocaust. The most craziest fucking thing to happen in human history, right next to slavery. So you're telling me you're going to take this character, change his skin color, change the pain, the history, the idealism of the character, which is based on Malcolm X, and let me try to make these characters Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. Stop. You're overthinking it. And you're trying to base them on what they were based on character. Look, you can take a character and you can build on top of them. You can take a character and you can put them in a setting, but still create the story. Stan Lee said it the best. You can take a character's skin, color, even their original race, but as long as you take the character, what makes the character, what gives the character motivation, the attitude of the character, as long as you keep those the same, the character itself will never change. This is what I want Marvel to understand. That was when they changed Johnny Storm to black, and I think Stan Lee responded to that. Like, you can change color, freaking human race, alien, anything. You can change these things, but as long as you keep the story. There are no black Jewish people. I don't mean I just turned Jewish, I'm a black guy. I mean like born actual Jewish black people. If there are, I haven't seen them. I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't seen them. If there are some black Jewish people out there who are naturally Jewish, or their families met a certain type of African American man, African American woman, and bam, you became Jewish, fine. I get what you're coming from. But anything else right now to this point, I need Marvel to really look at it and think about it for a second. These characters were only archetypes based off of other characters that were real life. Martin Luther King and Malcolm X. Those were archetypes for Charles Xavier and Malcolm X. Charles Xavier and Magneto. Don't take these characters and change their race to start some bullshit and to make some more because I believe the next Civil War is gonna be about race and mutants and all mutants are gonna be black. I don't know what's going on. Marvel, you need to slow down. Come back to reality. Take a second and chill. Please. Because if you move ahead without the comic book fans, you're gonna kill the fandom in the movies. Your movies are gonna plummet and I'm not gonna go see them. That's just how it is. I'll bootleg it if I have to. Think about it. Just keep the characters the same. I don't want Denzel motherfucking Washington in a Marvel movie. Get someone that can play Magneto. Get someone that can represent the character. Fuck, you can't bring back the old cast? Fine. Find other people that can bring life these archetype characters. They changed Domino, nobody gave a fuck. They changed a lot of characters no one cares for that they're black. Okay? No one cares for. But when it comes down to it, Mystique could have been black and nobody would have fucking known because she's covered in paint. But that's the thing. When you change characters, people are mad that they didn't even get a perfect dark-skinned Storm. Like, I get it, Storm is African, but when you want a dark-skinned Storm, I think people are bugging. Marvel, look at what you got. Look at your material closely. Do not fucking pander off to some other variety or what you're trying to do. Take a second, think about it, rewind. Don't take main characters that are already established and change them. You can do that to like Havoc, you can do that to Beast, you could do that to any other fucking character. You can do that to Banshee. Banshee could be black. You can change characters that are not main. You can literally change other characters without people fucking knowing. You did it to Domino already. Well, someone else did that to Domino already. Zazie Beetz plays Domino. It's just a beautiful role. But change that to other characters. Bishop. If Bishop freaking became white, is there gonna be an uproar? Yeah. It's just like, why is Bishop white? That's fucking stupid. He's not. He's never been white. He's black. Take characters that are established. Don't change them. Take characters that are not established. Kitty Pryde could be black. Jubilee could be black. Mixed in, she could be Blasian. She could be mixed in black. You can take other characters and change them. Fuck, Nightcrawler could be black and nobody fucking knows. You got to not change the main two archetypes of the X-Men world. Please, Marvel, fucking do this. If you like this video, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon to be notified. And for everybody out there, this is your boy. I'm waiting on Marvel not to fuck up. This is the Not Holding Back series. If you like this, make sure to come back for more. If you want me to talk about anything, comment below. Fucking Christ, Marvel, what are you doing?
Shit.
Getting on drum.
This is the last one.
You little niggas gonna stop acting like my shit ain't the grill.
This is the last
Some
one.
of you niggas get your front teeth for grills. And I ain't talking about the contract.
Ain't loving these fake hoes. Room smelling like 8 switches. Room service like 2K. NBA, I'm ballin', nigga. All them niggas falling like autumn, nigga. Talking shit, I saw them niggas. Now they daughter want a picture. Rough, ain't it? Fuck famous.
Yeah, man.
Niggas too real, got the most haters. Wrote a story so Stephen Curry. How it feel to be golden? Why was I chosen? Honolulu, babe, with my babe. What can I say? I did it.